So this is what I'm drawing. There used to be this Sega Genesis game called Golden Axe, and it was basically kind of a kind of swords and sorcery style beat 'em up. And in this game, you could actually ride these strange creatures with scorpion-like tails, and well, the first part of their bodies looked like a Protoceratops dinosaur, but they had actually two legs. They were like really weird creatures. They actually like hit people, hit enemies with their tails. So it was like a really cool creature design. So I'm actually trying to make that creature from my memory, basically. And let's see if we'll succeed. If this is the pelvis, you always do this one line, that's the pelvis inside the creature. And then from there you do the femur joint, then the femur here, it ends here. And so this is the knee joint. So then this is remember this was the pelvis, so you can kind of draw the angle of the leg muscles, and yeah, like so. So this is the end of the femur. This is a pretty stocky creature, so maybe that's the shank, leg shank. Notice how these lines are very simple, but it takes a while to understand them and to be able to do them smoothly. I really like this one. Look, somebody asked about color theory. Ilich Su says, Purple Heart, thank you. Somebody asked me about color theory. The trick is to use it sparingly. So don't go all the way in. Don't like apply color lightly, because it builds up that way, layer by layer. So there. Garfo Ambulante says, do you know any fictional animals that are realistic? Yeah, a lot. I mean, literally hundreds of examples from science fiction and speculative evolution. One thing that comes to mind is this one book by Jack Vance, and it's set in a world colonized by humans with farm animals and other animals. But in this colony attempt, the horses did not make it for some reason. So now they actually have these really fast-running cows and oxen with like horse-like proportions, and the people who live in this world ride them around. Like they're just one realistic animal right there. And then another trick with colors is blue. You can use blue in very light amounts to kind of give a sense of colors. Because actually, if you look at shadows in nature, especially on a summer day, the shadows aren't black or brown or gray, they're blue. So yeah, if you're an artist dealing with realism, you will find out that you will use shades of blue pretty quickly. He's fine. His face reminds me of a cross between a rhino and a macaque. I love him, says Ellie Brooks. Thank you. The base gnome child says, Kosemen just pulled this amazing creature out of his ass, out of nowhere. Yeah. Garof Ambulante says, do you think there'll be flying cars in the future? I don't think they're very feasible. You are right. Oh, look, to make a car fly, you need energy to lift the mass of, you need enough energy to lift the mass of a car. and like carry it. So maybe something like a very sophisticated or powerful drone is now possible with all these new batteries and all. But still, it doesn't change the fact that airplanes are simply easier. And those are subject to some regulation. If everybody had a flying car, everybody would have a potential terror weapon in their hand. So I think they would be very heavily regulated. So it would be extremely complicated to get all the permits, to tell the car to take off from here, go to here. But then flying is remarkably easier to automate when compared to driving. So maybe if things pan out really well, there could be a lot of flying taxi drones, but you could get in and tell it to like take me to this place, but you won't be able to actually pilot it because it will be automated because of, well, terror risks and other risks. But ultimately, I think it's unfeasible, at least monetarily. Technically, you could make one easily, but monetarily, it's unfeasible. And like, imagine how much problem real cars are causing. So now make them fly, and oof. EM10 says shadows appear blue mostly because the sky is blue, and this phenomenon happens mostly outside. Yes, correct. Maybe that's why it's so pertinent in summer, because, well, in the summer, the skies are usually clearer and the sky is bluer. Debased Gnome Child says, have you done concept art for a film? You see, that's where the American connection would have been handy. But actually, I have not concept art, but I have been a set painter for a local horror film called Baskin. And basically, I was given free rein. It was really nice. It was a horror film about some policemen being called to investigate a weird cult house. And turns out there's demons and shit there. So in one part of the house, quote unquote, there was all these like weird cave paintings or demon paintings. So I went and made those. Yeah. But if I was an American citizen, like, you can be the world's most talented person, and every country recruits first from their citizenry. So that's where it would have come handy, but I don't know. Maybe there's still some room for that. AM10 says, many people with lots of views just play video games or watch YouTube stream videos on stream and say a few things, but I think painting is way nicer. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a kind of something I owe to myself, you know. I could have become a sharp-tongued political streamer really easily. Yep. The creature you painted looks like it would make a nice burger patty. Oh, well, maybe. Do you think it's possible to make a plasma gun, says Garofambulante? So a gun that shoots like a constrained bolt of gas plasma that like goes chew and explodes. Maybe, but it would need something the size of a small factory to like process that, you know? And I mean, why make plasma guns or laser guns when you can just shoot normal guns instead? That's why I think That's why I like sci-fi settings with actual firearms, because it's a great concept, it's a great technology, and you don't need to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. Yep.